This week on Hot Couple Chronicles.
Unfortunately, the world is not very kind. And I know personally with our own children, along the way, kids are cruel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another layer that we are bringing to it, is that we are very public. I always say, if you're on the internet, it's not a matter of if you're going to be found out. It's when someone's going to see it. And I mean, that's just as men and women in general. People will get a lot of comments with him. Go, you, like, live your best life. He's out there living. And with us, of course, how dare you? Hooers, and we're just open our legs for everybody. And unfortunately, that's just what comes along with being a woman too. And then when you add being a mother on top of all of that, and a wife, and unfortunately, we got to deal with a lot of that. Yeah. And then when you have your people and the people that are supposed to love you no matter what.
I unfortunately learned that with some people, with some family, love is conditional.
My son came up to me and he's like, I understand your mission. I get it, because if you weren't doing it, who's going to make this okay for everybody else?
I'm scared of how people will treat the tiny human as he gets older.
My answer was the same. We lost our entire family for the lifestyle, pretty much. And it's 100% worth it. And I would do it 100 times over, because we were able to handpick a family for our kids to be raised with and around. One biggest misconception about being a mom in the lifestyle.
That we're slutty? That's literally the first thing that came to mind. People just think that we're easy sluts running around.
We added in consent to multiple conversations with my 14-year-old, and he went home saying it and repeating it. No means no. If it's not an enthusiastic yes, it's a no.
Welcome to Hot Couple Chronicles, a podcast exploring the swinging lifestyle. Our discussions may contain explicit content and adult themes intended for mature audiences. While we strive to offer valuable insights and entertainment, please be aware that the views expressed are based on personal experiences and opinions. We encourage listeners to approach the content with an open mind and to prioritize communication, consent, and respect in their relationships. Remember, everyone's journey is unique, so take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. Thank you for joining us on our adventure.
I'm Ashley, and this is definitely not Russ. This is Lindsay.
Hey.
And this is Hot Couple Chronicles. Welcome back to another week. We have been talking about this episode, doing this for at least a year.
At least
a year.
Yes.
And we are excited to finally sit down. Today, we really just wanted to go over and talk about being a mom in the lifestyle. And not just a mom, but a public lifestyler. And a mother.
Yeah, it adds a whole other layer to what is already can be a busy schedule.
Yeah,
for sure.
And controversial. There's a lot of people with a lot of opinions on it, and we're going to just dive into it and talk a little bit more about those intricacies and
all of
that. But yes, we are so excited to be here in the wild. Today we have a little bit of a different scenery. We are excited to change it up a little bit. You're not seeing my background like we're used to, but
hey, the weather finally
it's gorgeous. I know. I'm more than happy to be outside and be here. It's gorgeous, beautiful.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't even know where you want to start with it. First of all, let them know about your children. And
yep. I have a 7-year-old and then 3 amazing bonus children that are older. But we have the 7-year-old at home.
Yep. And then we have 4. We have 22, 19, 14, and then 10. So we cover pretty much every age and have been through this journey for a while with them. And our children know.
Mm-hmm.
And not because we wanted them to know. It really was pushed upon us. Eventually, we had planned on telling them.
I know the oldest The oldest knows for sure. We came out to her and told her, and was completely comfortable and accepted. I think that the third one knows, but a 15-year-old, you don't talk to them about that even if you're not lifestyle.
Yeah, even if you know, they know.
And then the 7-year-old thinks nothing of it and loves to go and pick me out pineapple stuff.
Yep. It really is. I think that's what the key is, to keep it appropriate to their age and understanding.
He's so cute. He'll see me doing my videos and my TikToks and stuff, and so now he wants to do videos with me, and so we'll do those elsewhere. So to him it's just, oh yeah, that's what mom does.
Oh yeah, they love pineapples. Every time we go anywhere, look, mom, pineapples. Everybody.
Quick story, year and a half, 2 years. Anyway, we're in Michael's and I forget what we were even looking for. And I hear from halfway across the store, Mom, I found the pineapples.
Yep. Been there.
Yep. And he really did. Yeah. We made bank on that trip. So
they're everywhere. If you don't realize how many pineapples are in every store you go into until you have your kids with you and they know you love pineapples, and they will find you all the pineapples everywhere and let everybody know that mom loves pineapples. So there's that. But yeah, I wanted to kind of dig deeper. I think I want to go a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
When do you plan on telling your youngest?
For us, it's not okay, when you turn 13, we're going to have this conversation. Yeah. We'll have the birds and the bees, but we have every intention of telling him the truth when he asks. I'm not going to hide it. And that's for him to get to hit an age where he either figures it out, asks, curious, wants to know, kind of like that. So that's our plan. That's
pretty much how we've navigated it. They were told, but didn't understand. The older ones knew, they got it. Mm-hmm. The younger ones, and then the youngest, she, like yours, like just doesn't really understand, isn't going to understand for a while, shouldn't understand for a while.
Yeah.
And that's as simple as that. And as she gets older and has questions, like we're going to be 100% honest with her, but...
Well, and two, Henry knows when we're gone for a weekend, if we do have an event, for him, it's mom and dad are going to work.
Working. Yeah. That's what ours say too. They'll say we're working in Atlanta or wherever we're working. That's where mom and dad are working.
Yep.
And the older two, they'll understand. And I mean, the oldest is usually the one who's watching the younger ones while we're gone, because she knows this is what we do for a living and this is our job. But they just see it as we're going on a work trip. We're just going away. Unfortunately, the world is not very kind. And I know personally with our own children, along the way, kids are cruel. Mm-hmm. And that's another layer that we are bringing to it, is that we are very public.
Yeah.
And we are out there. And I know we try to block our kids and everybody's accounts, and we're trying to make sure they don't see we do all the things that we could possibly do, but it's the internet. And the algorithm shows stuff that you don't want them to show to people that you're around.
Correct. One simple click or like, and then all of a sudden, somebody else sees it.
And we do always try to make our content with that in mind. I think we all are really good at pushing it enough, but all of our content is pretty safe for anyone to see.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed.
When Rob and I decided to finally just open up and make everything public, I went back through all of my platforms and did a lot of removing and deleting things I used to post and stuff. Like I don't anymore. So we did a lot of cleanup before we finally hit that public button.
Yeah.
It's this is our life and our lifestyle, but keep it classy.
It's going to be out there. I always say, if you're on the internet, it's not a matter of if you're going to be found out. It's when someone's going to see it.
Oh yeah.
And people will come to me and be like, how do I keep this 100% secret, 100% hidden from all of my family and friends? And I always tell them, if it's on the internet, it's public. Algorithm does what algorithm does, and it's going to show your stuff to people you are around and you're close to and you have contacts with. And at least once a week, I have the comments of, I feel sorry for the kids. I feel sad for the kids. I feel bad for the kids.
Yeah.
When I don't see it like that, though, I think my kids are so accepting and they're free to express themselves. They feel
They're comfortable.
They're just comfortable, just being themselves. And they see us, they don't see it as having sex with strangers. That's just not how they're viewing it. And I think that is how we kind of approached it, was once they were told we're swingers, we had to figure out how we want to explain what it is we're doing online and all of this. And I think going with the approach more of, we just are a good group of people that are just being ourselves, and it's really as simple as that.
We connect with other humans.
Yeah.
What's it we say? Bodies are bodies.
Yeah.
And it's also the morals, the way that we do it.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
I think it's a whole nother conversation of the myths and misconceptions. So.
Oh yeah. We have to fight that. And I do feel like women, I don't think my husband's ever been told on any of his content or any of his videos how he's affecting the children.
Oh, it's the mom.
We get the brunt of, it's all on our shoulders because we're the mother.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just as men and women in general. People will get a lot of comments with him. Go, you, like, live your best life. He's out there living. And with us, of course,
how dare you?
Hooers, and we're just open our legs for everybody. And unfortunately, that's just what comes along with being a woman too. And then when you add being a mother on top of all of that, and a wife, and unfortunately, we got to deal with a lot of that.
Well, and then there's the aspect of not just total strangers that I could care less about.
Family.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to transition into. And then when it's
then
your own
family
and blood that pile up on top of it.
That disappoints and hurts more than I don't care what a stranger has to say. But
and then when you have your people and the people that are supposed to love you no matter what.
I unfortunately learned that with some people, with some family, love is conditional.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And finding that out when you're, 35, 36 years old, that took a lot to digest and accept.
Especially when nothing's changed for you.
Correct.
And I'm exactly the same human.
I am the exact same human.
Same person.
I have the same emotions and feelings.
Yep.
I'm mother and parent. The exact same
thing.
But all of a sudden now
everything changed.
I'm a terrible person and harming my child.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and like to circle back around, I disagree. I feel like we are helping our kids so much. I think this
absolutely.
I have never met a group of more accepting, open. They come to me with the littlest things, the biggest thing, anything in between, because they know that that's what I do. That's
you don't judge.
Yeah. I'm here for people to be themselves, and they see that, and it's as simple as that. It's not that deep.
And that's us. I mean, we've always been that way, with ours, that growing up, people are different. People think and do and act different than you do.
And love
different.
Yeah.
I want him to be exposed to it. I don't want him living and growing up in a bubble.
Yeah.
Where we do live, while we're not far from the city, people here call it the bubble.
Yeah.
And it really is. If you don't get out of where we're at, you don't get a lot of diversity, and I don't want that for him.
Yeah. And I want them to make their own decision.
Yep.
They might be the most monogamous person you'll ever meet in your entire life and be with the same person for 50 years. And that's fine.
Perfect.
I want them to have an opportunity.
Yeah.
I want them to be able to just experience life however they want to. Yeah. And I do think that we get a lot of crap for what we do, and we're so swingers just how it is. But I do think overall we are just a great group of people that just love, and we're learning to love ourselves and each other, and the confidence that they have seen, how big my confidence has grown. I think that speaks for itself.
I was going to say that's a whole other aspect of it, is your child seeing you grow and become more confident and loving yourself as you. And so many people still don't and can't do that. So that's its own exposure for them to be self-accepting of, I'm me and I'm different and I'm good with it.
That's okay. Yeah. And I think even before the lifestyle, we really have always instilled that in our kids and have taught them to just be themselves, no matter who has an opinion on it, no matter if
Exactly.
it's seen as right or wrong, or you're the only one who has to live your life and you're the one who has to navigate through it with yourself.
We are hitting that age too where, 7, 8, 9, 10 and going, tiny humans becoming impressionable.
Oh, yeah.
And so I want him to make his own decisions. I want him to experience his own things. I want him to decide or start to decide what he likes, doesn't like, and all of those things. But then there's so much more negative out there regarding us, what we choose to do in our private time consensually with other people.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that worries me is it goes back to what you said, like, okay, other people are going to judge him because of what I do.
That's the worst. Yeah.
That's the worst feeling.
The worst feeling ever. I experienced that through the last year. Our oldest son was navigating 18, 19 years old and came to us, and I had never really thought. I knew that some people knew. I know, of course, obviously I'm not naive. I know people know. But I really did think I did a well enough job of blocking everyone from everything. And I was just they knew what I did, but I didn't think they really knew. And as they've gotten older, they've kind of come to me and told me and sat down and were like, yeah, I lost this girlfriend. I lost this friend. And I had no idea. And I don't know how I would have known because they never really told me at the time. But it's like, oh, to us, though, it wasn't worth it. If they can accept my family and my parents and what we do and how we live.
Mm-hmm.
And that just made me so proud, but also broke my heart because...
Your mom heart broke.
Yeah, because they said I was fine with losing that person. I was fine losing that girlfriend. I was fine. But just knowing that her family was like, no, you can't go over there. You can no longer be friends with them.
Yeah.
And they had to navigate that and work through it and then came to me and were like, how should I finish this relationship? How should I navigate this relationship? And just really thinking about the repercussions of just being yourself. That's really what we're doing. We're not trying to be anything but ourselves.
We are ourselves. We are out there.
Yeah.
I mean, part of that we talk about a ton is because we want it to be normalized.
Yep.
Not the stigma. It's not what people think. It's all these things. So therefore we do put ourselves out there. But there's all, I always carry that chunk of mom guilt.
Always guilt. There'll always be a guilt.
Absolute mom guilt with, I'm doing this
for them. And we're doing it for them. My son came up to me and he's like, I understand your mission. I get it. Because if you weren't doing it, who's going to make this okay for everybody else? And they see, especially the older ones, really see the mission. They see the purpose. They see why. But it's easy to get lost in that.
Yeah.
This one's mom just thinks you're a whore. This one's dad said to leave. Don't go anywhere near them because sex crimes happen. Or, you know what I mean? Like the stuff like that's associated automatically with people that are open sexually.
Yeah.
Just in general, that have nothing to do with anything we're doing. But it's just, fortunately, a lot of religion. We live in a really Bible Belt religious area.
We live in the South.
Very South Baptist, and that was the people that cut ties it was a lot of struggle with church and a lot of that. They were the ones that left first.
There's also that aspect. That's their belief in their life, and that's what they need to do for them.
Yep.
And that's great. And I'm going to do what I need to do for me and for my family.
I don't think there'll ever be a time when we don't feel guilt for not only being swingers, but then traveling.
Oh, that's the one that will get me the fastest is, we did a lot of traveling last year. Instead, we were not doing it this year, and we have not yet. We do have some big trips planned, but we're staying more local and around. But even that, like, okay, great. We're around town, but it's still a whole weekend. So, and he knows, like I said, it's work. We're headed to work. He's to an age though. He's so funny. He wants to know what outfits we're going to wear. And we'll want to see like pictures of us dressed up, which is fine because it's PG-13 stuff. So he's at an age he's excited about that. But the last few times that we've left, I can tell he doesn't want us to go.
Yeah. He's just at that age too. That
he wants mom and he wants snuggles. And
he's
so when we are home, when we are here, then it's solely focused on him. We're going to snuggle. We're either going to do movie days. We'll play games. We'll go to the park, stuff like that. But
it really does take up such a small amount of time overall. We do more than most people in lifestyle do. We do a little bit extra. We do work. We do travel. We do visit a lot of places all over the country and stuff. But in our normal everyday life, you would never know. We still wake up. We still brush the teeth, fight with the children, go to, it's still a whole day.
Got to go to the bus stop.
We're not 100% always swingers.
No.
We're not always living that lifestyle. It is very temporary, here and there.
It is a small piece.
It is a very tiny little piece of our life. We still have to, what's for dinner? We have to come up with that and do the bedtime routines and the homework and the school. And we work around weekends with the kids stuff and birthday parties and school and all of the stuff like that. But it's a balance.
It is.
That I think women take on the brunt of that balance for the most part.
I think so. And it's interesting. I mean, part of the reason we're talking about this is the mom side, the mom guilt, the time away. It doesn't get mentioned or talked about.
Yeah.
You mention it to someone maybe, over a weekend. It's like, well, yeah. But again, I think because we are more involved, it just hits harder sometimes.
Yeah.
That look of,
okay.
You
working this weekend?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it a work weekend?
We'll get that sometimes. Are you going away this weekend?
Yeah.
No.
Yep.
Our other thing too is we also try our best to plan, like if we're going to go out for the evening, we do it after dinner. He's headed to bed, so he's not going to be up anyway. So we try to do that as much as we can. So
when we first started getting away and going to trapeze, that's how we would do it. We would do dinner, and then it would be bedtime, and then we'd get there later, and that's how we navigated it for a while.
I'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, it's that constant balance. I just don't think that is talked about enough. It is a lot of shame about being a mom and being a sexual person just in general, not even in the lifestyle. I think just being sexy, just putting yourself out there as a wife and mom. I think we just don't talk about it enough. Yeah.
And then there's complete vanilla land where because of lifestyle, I'm more comfortable. I'm more confident. I'm much more happy in my skin. And so, if I'm going to run to the store, I might be in my leggings and my crop top and I'm perfectly happy with it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, where we live, I also can hear the hisses.
Yeah.
Because how dare I wear that?
Yeah.
A mom.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I'm pretty sure my bathing suits that I wear, to the pool during the summer. So I definitely can see and feel the judgment there, because it's not a high waist up to my tatas and
the mom suit.
I do not wear the mom suit.
Yes. That's the part that bleeds into your kids, though. I think seeing them see you be confident and seeing the change, like we were saying earlier, and just watching your confidence. They see that.
Yes.
They can't help but notice that and how you feel comfortable in your skin. And they don't see it as she's trying to be sexy. They just don't. They see it as my mom.
Oh, that's just my mom.
Yeah.
That's the best thing about kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
To them, we're just mom.
That's the thing, is everyone else is making it weird.
Everybody else has to make it weird.
It's not the kids that are making it weird. It's everyone around. Everyone's so concerned about the kids, but...
Which brings us back to it's normal. And this is me, and that's you, and just full circle.
And bodies don't have to be sexualized all the time. And
they
need
don't.
To see them as sexual beings.
Oh, no, you saw my feely button.
We all have... we have thighs. We have bellies. We have nipples. We have things. I don't know. I think that we're getting there. I think we're working there, and
slowly but surely
working that navigate. But we have been taught to hide ourselves, hide everything, stay modest. Modesty is something everyone tells me I have no modesty or morals every day of my life, and I disagree.
I would disagree
wholeheartedly. But it's not that serious, and you don't need to make it weird. It is that. And I think, I do think that has positively, definitely, my daughters, just seeing their mom, I would wear full-blown swim dresses to the knees, Amish swim dresses.
I'm going to need to see that.
Or the tankinis with the
pictures, or it didn't happen.
2 pieces, full pieces. And to just see now, even, doesn't even have to be that crazy, just a normal bikini, just to see that.
Yeah.
And to see the girls, just watch my confidence go up, and they can't help but see. They watch that. The boys too. Like, they just can't help but notice that.
I love that.
And I think that's
hard.
a huge benefit of being in the lifestyle.
Yeah.
And doing this and having kids. And yeah.
Well, I mean, like you said, I want him to be open-minded, accepting, loving, non-judgmental.
Yeah. We're all so different.
Oh, yeah.
So different. He's going to meet so many people that are just going to live differently.
Yep.
And that's okay. It's not your life. You don't have
to
live there. You don't have to live there.
As long as you're happy.
Exactly.
I'm happy.
It's hard enough out there. You don't need to be unhappy in your own life. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Do you think that moms get judged differently than dads in this space?
Absolutely.
We kind of touched on it a little bit
We did
earlier.
But yeah.
And then do you ever feel like you have to prove that you're a good mom?
Yes, actually. And unfortunately, it's with family.
Yes. Yeah. We've had those conversations for sure.
Yep.
So what's the part of this that actually scares you as a mom?
I'm scared of how people will treat the tiny human as he gets older.
Yeah. And that's something you can't do anything. You have no control over.
No.
And that's the hard part.
That's the hard part.
Also teaching your kids through this that, you need to love and you need to accept. But unfortunately,
not everyone else is that way.
Not everyone else feels like that. And not everyone else is going to think the same as you.
Yeah.
And sticking by that and not feeding into it or falling into the crowd. That's the hard part. So then what makes it worth it for you to still be open and out?
It's the family for me.
Yep.
The connections, the people. I know if other people reject us, reject our kids, we have family that love us.
Yeah,
unconditionally.
Yep. My answer was the same. We lost our entire family for the lifestyle, pretty much. And it's 100% worth it. And I would do it 100 times over because we were able to handpick a family for our kids to be raised with and around. And they're the most beautiful family that you could ever have picked. And like this last weekend, we drove here. We were here for her son's birthday party and made a whole weekend thing of it. And they were there for my son's graduation. And you just, you just can't.
I can't describe it.
You can. And there's family, and then there's your family that you were able to choose and handpick. And then you're also surrounding your kids with loving, open people that will love you regardless of anything and judgment free. All right. We are going to lighten things up a little bit. Don't overthink this. You're going to answer this. We're going to do rapid fire questions.
All right. I'm not going to look at you so that I can just.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to do. I mean, you can explain it. We appreciate a little explanation every once in a while, but
Understood.
You don't have to. All right. Mom mode or lifestyle mode? Which one's harder?
Mom mode.
More exhausting. A whole full kid weekend or a full lifestyle weekend?
Full lifestyle weekend.
Agree. One word your kids would use to describe you.
Have you ever had someone not be able to answer?
Anytime. Many times. It starts a good conversation.
Wow.
It starts a good conversation.
I think loving.
Agree. One word people in the lifestyle would use to describe you. And I think it's the same.
Loving.
I think it's the same. I think either way.
Yep.
One biggest misconception about being a mom in the lifestyle.
That we're slutty. That's literally the first thing that came to mind. People just think that we're easy sluts running around.
Yeah. Coffee or a cocktail?
Time of day.
Yeah. How about both?
Right?
One of each, thanks.
I have ordered coffee and a mimosa.
Which one is a harder conversation? Talking to your kids about setting boundaries or in the lifestyle talking about setting boundaries?
I'm going to go with equal because sometimes adults act like kids.
Yeah. It needs to be broken down just the same.
Yeah.
And talked about pretty much the same.
Here's what you can do. Here's what you cannot do.
Yeah.
This I'll let you know about.
And know me so. Don't touch anyone without permission.
Yeah.
Very simple. Yeah. Are you more protective as a mom or free as a mom?
Gosh. I'm going with both.
Yeah.
Because, and it goes back to me worrying about how the kid's treated because of me. The other part of me, though, is I am more free because I do want him to go and experience and see and learn.
Yeah.
So it's...
And unfortunately, you cannot protect them from
the best thing I can do is make sure that he is comfortable enough to come to me and go, Mom, so-and-so said, so-and-so did.
Yeah.
And as long as he's comfortable enough to talk to me about it, then...
Yeah. The fact that they feel free to come to me with literally any sex or body questions. I think that's another perk, is that they do feel more free to come to you and talk about your body and talk about boundaries and talking about consent. And this last weekend, we added in consent to multiple conversations with my 14-year-old, and he went home saying it and repeating it. No means no. If it's not an enthusiastic yes, it's a no. And he was joking, but he soaked that in.
But he
soaks it in, and he hears it all of the time. He knows he hears mom say that. But yeah, I think that another perk to having a mom that's more free and open and able to talk about that stuff. They do come to you, and that's as long as they can come to you, you can fix anything. You can, or at least work through everything together and figure it out. All right. What is something that you will not compromise on as a parent?
How Rob and I choose to raise our son.
And then what is something you won't compromise on the lifestyle?
My boundaries.
And then who do you feel the judgment from more, other men or other women?
I have to say women, even in the lifestyle, is we all talk about open and accepted, but I mean, we're human.
Yeah.
You can feel kind of the judgment, the distance,
especially with younger children. A lot of people have a lot of older kids that are out and about, which we do as well. We have half of them out. We do have older ones, but it's those younger ones that we really, I think, get a lot more judgment, unfortunately, from other women.
Yeah.
But isn't that everything, though?
It's everything in life. Everywhere.
That's not just parenting. That is everything as women do. We're our own biggest critics.
Yep.
Okay. What is one thing people would be surprised to learn about you as a mom?
Honestly, the fact that I value and I take me time.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I say that because I still see, and I feel like there's a lot of moms that do not do that for themselves.
Yes.
And that is something that I hold dear to me. I have to be able to decompress and have my time.
I think some of the judgment with being in the lifestyle is out from the outside anyway, is I do think a lot of women struggle with seeing us as being selfish by putting our sexual needs, wants, desires, being just something outside of our children in general. I think it doesn't matter if it's a hobby or anything.
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, I know plenty of couples and parents, I'll post very generically, date night tonight.
Yeah.
And the number of replies of, it must be nice. We haven't had had a date night in years.
So sad.
It does.
Because regardless of the lifestyle, even before all of this, we were very adamant that this is the most important relationship.
We do not want to be roommates.
No.
We don't ever, even before lifestyle, we're not going to be roommates. And before lifestyle, we had planned, scheduled date nights. We sent Tiny Human off to grandparents for a weekend just for he and I to be able to spend time together. So we just do something different than we used to. Yeah. And now we're terrible for it.
Yeah, every year on our anniversary, everyone would just talk so much crap because we made it a holiday. It was such a big deal to us. That was a day that we focused on us. And we always did something or got out, and it was like a holiday for us. Yeah. We didn't really care about Christmas. We really didn't do presents. We focused on the kids. And then our anniversary came up. That was always just our special. And so many people just couldn't understand getting away from your kids. And I don't know really where it stems from or I don't know.
I don't either. I don't.
There are so
I don't
many
know
moms that
why.
get so like their kids are. I understand. I love my kids with all of my heart, but you have to prioritize yourself as well and your marriage. And I think people get so focused on their kids for 18 years that they lose themselves. They lose their person. They lose.
And older generations, that was life. Your child was your life.
Yes.
You did nothing else. And that
I think we're
dynamic has changed where, yes, we do have a family. I do have children. And we also still have a marriage.
We also are married, and I'm also a woman, and I also can feel sexy, and I can get dressed up, and I can be in love with my husband. And I know, it's crazy. It's wild. It's wild.
You can be a mom and love your husband?
I know. Crazy. And then what's one thing your kids would be surprised to learn about you and the lifestyle?
A lot, girls.
Girls are nice.
Girls are nice. They're so pretty.
I know I'm married to a man, but I like girls. Yes. And then last one, finish this. Being a mom in the lifestyle means blank.
My immediate gut reaction was balance.
Yeah.
You got to balance.
I think it is a constant balance.
And it's balancing everything. Schedules, emotions, energy. So it's, in a nutshell, just balance of life and everything.
It's a good one. It's perfect. At the end of the day, it's not a perfect conversation. It's just a conversation. And I think it needs to be had more.
Yeah.
I think we need to just be honest and know, but it's not easy. It's never easy. And we never know what we're doing. No one knows what we're doing here. We're all just winging it. I think we're all just...
My favorite is just
learning.
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. And it applies to so many things. And with or without the lifestyle, we'd be navigating the same type of ideas, same type of... Always a balance. Always navigating what's wrong. Are we doing enough? If we're doing too much, if we're around too often or not around enough. I feel like no matter what a hobby or a friendship, outside of the house, anything at all, work, I mean, you're constantly always going to be hit with that mom guilt. And
I think people they get so caught up in that one small aspect of our lives that they forget that it actually starts with the word life.
Life. Yeah. It's how we live. It's who we are. But really, all of that to say, after everything, it's not that serious.
Don't make it weird.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We appreciate you. Thank you for being on and for hanging out with me. I'm
glad we finally got to do it.
Yes, I am glad we finally got to talk about it. I think we just need to keep talking about it more. I think more moms, more women, more husbands.
Yes.
More men. Everyone needs to just sit down and have a good conversation. It's good for the soul. And
I think so.
I love you.
I love you.
I love you guys. And we will see you next week on Hot Couple Chronicles. Bye.